All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. Huge breaking NFL news just came out. All right, it doesn't impact the Jets right now, but it could in the near future. All right, so the New York Giants just went out and they released guard Kevin Zeitler. Let's be honest, he's a good guard, he's a productive guard, but he's getting paid a ton, and he's not the same. He doesn't provide the same level of play that he once did back in Cleveland, and he spent some time with the Giants, but he hasn't lived up to the big contract. So the New York Giants parted ways with him. He was on the books for $14.5 million against the cap. Releasing him saves $12 million. Okay, so by the way, we actually talked a little bit about this on a video that I posted, I think it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, where we went through the list that Albert Breer came out with, where he mentioned all of the players that were mentioned in trade talks, and Kevin Zeitler was one of those names. And we talked about in that video, if the Jets had any sort of interest in bringing Zeitler in, and we're going to get into the free agency market as well in just a sec, but I do want to mention this. If the Jets have any sort of interest in bringing Zeitler in to become a member of the green and white, do not trade for him. The Giants were desperate. We knew he was going to be released. So, I mean, unless a team like, that really, really needed guard help, like the Buffalo Bills or something like that, managed to pull off like a trade for like a 6th or a 7th round pick, just roll the dice, stand pat, and chances are the Giants will just outright release him and you don't have to give up an asset. That is exactly what just happened. And now the Jets are in a position where, because he was released, and by the way, this is assuming that the Jets are interested in bringing Zeitler in. That's not a guarantee here, but I do feel like he would be a massive upgrade over what we currently have. So if the Jets do want to pursue Zeitler, they don't have to wait until the start of free agency because he was released. Think about J.J. Watt. He was released from the Houston Texans, instantly signed with the Arizona Cardinals a few days later. Okay, so the Jets could really, really, really get a good jump start on the guard market by beating teams to the punch and bringing in Kevin Zeitler. Now, he's not the best guard in the league. He's not a top 5 guard, for sure, and he's not even the best guard that's going to be on the market. When you're looking at the potential market, guys like John Feliciano from the Buffalo Bills stand out. Obviously, Joe Thuney of the Patriots, he's like the number 1 guy. Brandon Scherf, the consensus number 1, just got tagged from Washington a few days back. But as far as the trade market is concerned, you can look at bringing guys like Brandon Brooks in from Philly. I don't know how, early 30s, getting paid a lot of money, but I don't know how I would feel about Brooks, but he's still an option. He's better than what we have. We would have to give up, or we would have to pay Brooks a lot, but he's just an option. Who else? Norwell from the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's another option. He's getting paid a lot of money too, but he's not on the book. He's not under contract for a long, long time like Brooks is. I think Brooks is like 3 or 4 years left on the deal, where Norwell is just this season and next season. So it would essentially be like a 2-year, because Norwell is getting paid around like $15 or $16 million for this upcoming year. It would essentially just be like a 2-year, $30-something million deal, and I can live with that with the amount of cap space that the Jets have. So if the Jets want to get a jump start on the guard market, we can bring Zeitler in, all right, before anybody. So say we do miss out on Joe Thuney and we miss out on all these different guys, and Norwell does get traded, but he gets traded to the Bengals or something like that. We don't want to be on the outside looking in after the first couple days of free agency wrap up, where we're like, okay, great, we signed a receiver, but we still have $55 million in cap space, and we didn't address the offensive line at all. So now we have to rely on the draft and drafting rookies to fill these vacancies. So I believe the Jets will be active, and it just provides New York with an insurance policy. And even if you want to look at the center market as well, with Lindsley and David Andrews from New England, like, the Jets have their options, man. We really, really do. I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait to see what happens. But bringing Zeitler in provides New York with just a great insurance policy, just in case Thuney signs elsewhere, just in case all of the guard market gets, brought in by other teams. I mean, we know Joe Douglas won't overpay for guys. That's not really his MO. We'll see what happens this offseason, but it'll be crazy to see what happens. And by the way, I don't think that the Jets should be satisfied with bringing one offensive lineman in. I think that we need a complete rehaul on the interior, right? So 2 guards, 1 center. Now, if you want to move McGovern to guard and see how he does, okay, I can live with that because he's getting paid so much. If you want to re-sign Pat Elflein and plug him in at left guard, that's fine too. Like I've always liked Pat Elflein. I think he did pretty well down the stretch of last season, but I don't think he's a solid like option for the next 10 years, but I would be interested in bringing Elflein back at least, at least as a depth player. But if the Jets do want to give him a starting shot, I can see that. But I believe that the Jets need to bring in at least two. Two is what I need. Two is what I need, all right? Not including Elflein, not including moving Connor McGovern to guard. I need two improvements, two major improvements. That's why the money is there. Yes, we have the cap space, and it gives the Jets a lot of flexibility, but that's why the money's there. It's there to improve the team. And I'm not saying let's spend every cent and let's make a Super Bowl push, not in the least, but we can't let whoever's playing quarterback get killed. We cannot continue to not open up any holes in the run game at all, because that just makes everybody's job harder. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you like Zeitler? He's in his early 30s too. He's not what he once was, but he's a massive upgrade over what we have currently. So thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.